just different.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of SAT Sports with yours truly, Marcus. On the show today, we're going to recap the Saints' final preseason game of the season against the Houston Texans. But first, let me introduce to you my guests for tonight. You can find them from the 713 in H-Town, from the Just Fans podcast, and one guy's making his debut on this show. But welcome back. We got Carlos and Rios from the Just Fans podcast. How y'all doing today, guys?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Thanks for having us over again, man. SAT Sports rules. I got to tell you, you guys do a great job.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate the invite, man. I've been looking forward to it all day.
Yeah. Well, see, I've already been on y'all's show once. It was just Carlos and I. I came opening weekend when we had the White Sox. And it was Mania weekend for me, so I had a lot lined up. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting ready to do my own YouTube sports show. I need to start learning how to talk baseball a little more on a stream because I can do football and basketball. I never really talked baseball as much, so it was kind of a jump start for me before I got this one rolling in May. But, yeah, I really need to go back to Houston again soon. I think it was May the last time I went. I told you I went to a Dynamo game. Me and my co-hosts we went to our first ever MLS matchup. So they're fans of the Sound Waves. I've been a Dynamo guy since I watched them win their first championship back in 05 or 06, one of those years. So it was a fun experience. And I was like, if I watched them on TV, I used to catch there was a channel on DirecTV I used to catch them on. I don't think it was Bally Sports or something. Before
it was one of the affiliates or something. Root Sports, maybe? Did they used to have them at Root Sports?
Yeah. Bally Sports, I think, is New Orleans. It was Root Sports. Now they're called AT&T Sportsnet or AT&T Southwest. Yeah. But now
it changes.
It's just Astros and Rockets games now. If I want to watch the Dynamo, I had to create I didn't create. I used Dylan's Apple TV account to watch them, unless if they're like on like a ESPN or something. Like one time I called them.
Yeah, even here locally, it was a bit of a challenge to see them because they would kind of be thrown around everywhere. It was on the Tube or something like that. I can't remember the Cube.
It was like
something like that.
Channel 55 or some weird.
Yeah, something. Like some random channel, and they would just kind of throw them there, and then they switched them over to the Root Houston Roots Sports Network, whatever it was, and I don't think it got a lot of ratings there, a lot of good views there. So then they ended up just MLS in general went over to Apple TV, and here they are. And so it's like you have to get a subscription to watch them. But they've been exciting this season. They really have. It's they've got a good group of core players, and here we are now.
They're in the playoff picture. Last year, one of the worst teams to watch, and now they're like in the playoff hunt.
Yeah. Well, I just looked it up. The Houston network is called AT&T Sportsnet. AT&T Southwest is Dallas, Fort Worth area.
What is that?
Well, I thought it was Oklahoma's baseball team, but yeah.
It might as well be.
South Oklahoma.
I can catch it. Just like the Astros, I can catch every Rangers games too, and it's like I don't really care. Like I just – sometimes if they're playing a team I know they're going to get loose too, I'll watch it just to cheer for the opposing team, even if it's the Stankies. If it's the Stankies, that's probably one of the only times a year I'd root for them. And I really don't care for them either because they cry too much. What's up, Jordan? That's an Astros guy right there.
That's what's up. What's up, Jordan?
That's his only Houston team though. He likes he got hopped on the Sounders bandwagon with Dylan.
Sounders. Gotcha.
They won that. They won both matchups, so I can't say too much.
Yeah.
Same here. Dylan tuning in as well. But
what's up, Dylan? How's it going, bud?
So speaking of like when it was trying to, I don't know how it worked with you guys with the Texans, but like for this to watch Saints preseason games, we had to like watch it on Fox only. Like they'll say it's live on the NFL Network, but it gets blacked out in our area, and we have to watch it on our local news channel. And that's only for preseason games.
Yeah, same here. We had to watch it on ABC 13. ABC 13 was the affiliate that shows the preseason games, and then it goes back during the regular season. We get to see it through CBS, and so
unless they play the NFC, then it's on Fox.
Yeah,
lucky for me.
And then I know it's weird, like the blackouts, like at their local, like at the local place, like here in Houston, like we don't get obviously the blackouts for the Texans, but we get blackouts for the Astros, which is weird. Unless you have the channel and the Dynamo now. Yeah.
Well, we used to. Now on Apple TV, you don't get blackouts anymore. Yeah. But before, it'd be like, bro, they're 30 minutes away from my house. How is it blacked out? Like, it made no sense whatsoever.
Exactly. Well, Dynamo I have to watch on Apple TV. I have AT&T Sportsnet for Astro games, luckily, which if I had to choose, I'd just rather have the Astros all the time than the Dynamo. I just watch them when I can. Well, so we finally got preseason out of the rearview mirror. This might be the first time in a really long time I actually watched all of their preseason games. They only had 3 back in the day when we would do 4. I would only maybe watch no more than 2. We would catch one on the local channel, and then we'd have one like on prime time if we catch it. And it's like, I don't take preseason lightly, but I did watch some of it this year. How my preseason goes, it's like I'll watch the Hall of Fame game, then I'll watch maybe 2 Saints preseason games, and I'm done till the real shit starts.
Sounds
about right. Yeah, I don't really watch the preseason games unless, I mean, the last 3 years for us obviously has been rough, so I didn't really care for preseason.
Rough is putting it lightly.
Yeah. This season, just because of the excitement of a new quarterback and some change finally coming to the organization, I stuck around for all the preseason games. Yeah, and the head coach and players. So it was an exciting time to watch it. So I think this is the best part I like about football: the excitement, new things coming to the team as well.
This is the first time in 20 years I watched all the preseason games. Usually I watch like the first one and then the third one, the dress rehearsal, and then that's it. This year, no, I watched all 3 from start to finish.
And turns out we ended up having the same record. We finished, both our teams finished the preseason 2-1, which y'all had a hot start with the Patriots, blowing them out of the water, and then y'all had not a good game with the Miami Dolphins, and then I knew this one was. I had a feeling, I was like, we're probably going to lose this one, but I'm not going to be mad because we never play our starters in the final preseason game. This is the more like the cut game. Like if you improve, you're on the 53 man. If you don't, your ass is out. And I keep telling my family, I'm like, don't take it lightly. I said 90% of our starters didn't even play. I think maybe the only starter that played was Jimmy Graham. And you could probably say Kendra Miller could be our starting running back. Dylan might have to question me on that till Alvin Kamara comes back from his suspension. But I
think you probably have Jamal Williams probably start.
Oh, Jamal Williams. God damn, I forgot about him. Shit. I haven't seen him. He didn't even play in the Chiefs game. So he never played.
I think he's probably going to be, the feature back for those first 3 games when Kamara's out. And when Kamara comes back, he'll probably be like the goal line guy. Because that's his role in Detroit, is the goal line carries. He's not going to get you a bunch of yards as far as long bursts, but goal line, he's a tough guy to bring down.
Third down. Yeah, I can see that. I can see extra yards, all that stuff. I am actually pretty happy to see Jimmy Graham playing. I thought we were going to have a scare when I saw him when the news came out about him earlier this week too.
Yeah,
that
was scary. I was like, "What, Jimmy?" And but I'm
glad he's doing better.
Seriously.
I'll tell you what.
It's like a flashback seeing him with those over the shoulder catches, just those jump balls. Like, man, are we in 2013?
Yeah. Well, he got us all really good when he scored that touchdown. He fooled us, thinking he was going to dunk the field goal post like he did 10 years ago. But he's like,
I was hoping so.
I think there's still a rule. I think there's still a rule you can't do that. Which fuck you, Roger Goodell. But well, Texans got the win 17-13. But when it comes to game leaders, Jake Haener, which I didn't think he had that much very good of a game, especially in the second half, but he was a passing yard leader. He had 17 completed out of 38 for 172 yards. He did throw 2 interceptions. Plus, he was the rushing yard leader with 2 carries for 32 yards. For the Texans, C.J. Stroud did get a little bit of playing time, but E.J. Perry was y'all's passing leader. Completed 7 out of 12 passes for 58 yards. But let's talk about both these guys. Do y'all want to start with y'all's QB1, or do y'all want to start with E.J. Perry being y'all's passing leader?
Well, he was passing leader all for naught because he got cut today.
Yeah.
He had his like 15 minutes of fame. Now he's no longer on the team, but
the team was like, "Oh, that's so cute." Cut.
Right. Yeah. Hey, nothing tops what's his face from Jacksonville cutting his own son. Doug Peterson cut his own son, bro. That's cutthroat.
Watch go play for like a division rival.
Right. Exactly. Stick it to the old man, that kind of a thing. No, I was excited to see. We come on, Rios and I we kind of figured, you got Case Keenum, you got Davis Mills, you got
still got those two
CJ Stroud. So you were like, oh, that's cool. That kid's getting an audition for another team. Awesome. And hopefully some team picks him up. He did what he could.
He didn't look half bad out there. I'll say that. Didn't look half bad out there. He'd be a solid backup or emergency quarterback because. As San Francisco show, you need those because you don't need your running back throwing passes in a playoff game.
Somebody to pick him up.
Yeah,
somebody to pick him up.
In receiving, Xavier Hutchinson was y'all receiving leader. He had 4 receptions for 48 yards. But y'all still got other guys like Noah Brown, Nico Collins, John Mechie III, Robert Woods. Even in the backfield, y'all got the former Bill, Devin Singletary. I forgot he got traded to the Texans.
Yeah. He's been a good piece. I think he's going to be great just because I've said this on several podcasts. I think Rios and I say it all the time. It's finally good to see Dameon Pierce get a break and
a competent backup.
Yeah, a competent backup, unlike Rex Burkhead, who it was. I was just concerned last season. I was happy for Dameon Pierce's breakout season, but I was also in the back of my mind, I was concerned. I was like, we're using him a little bit too much. You know what I mean? And running backs right now aren't what they used to be. They're not getting those long contracts. So I know for a fact that he's getting some wear and tear on his rookie year. So I wanted one of the things that I wanted to see this year, and they did that. The Texans, I wanted to see how much help Dameon Pierce would get, and by getting Singletary and Mike Boone also. I think that's a good compliment to Dameon Pierce, that they want to protect him, that they want him for the long run, So I like that for sure.
Y'all think Schultz still gonna be y'all's tight end?
Yeah.
Schultz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure. That's gonna be his safety net for CJ.
Oh, most definitely, especially in the red zone. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what he was for Dak in Dallas. Big red zone target.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for us, that was the only touchdown we scored the whole night was Jimmy Graham's 3-yard touchdown reception. The rest of our scores were field goals from our backup kicker. Well, he might be our first-string kicker because the Saints just got rid of Will Lutz to the Broncos.
That was surprising.
Will
Lutz?
I was
like,
Will Lutz is gone. I don't know why. Wow. What the fuck Dennis Allen was thinking getting rid of him?
Wow. He's been with y'all for, gosh, I can't even.
Years.
He's probably... Him and Garrett Hartley are probably the only 2 field goalers I can remember that played as a Saint kicker is Garrett Hartley and Will Schultz.
Wow.
And he's been money for you. I'm surprised he made that move.
He's been consistent.
So
he's been
fucking said Schultz. I brought back y'all's tight end up name again. I don't even know why.
No, it's okay. No, but that's crazy. To me, that's kind of whatever. Things happen. Like I just always thought you guys would keep him for even a little longer because he's been so consistent for y'all.
Yeah, but hell, I'm even going to quote one of Dylan's tweets if he's still watching. This blew his mind. He said the fact that Traquan Smith made the 53 over Shaq Davis is mind-blowing. Really? I agree. Yeah, how the hell? You couldn't put them both. You couldn't just add him and take. I don't want to have to pull the Saints receiver list up to see who they could have just got rid of. That's kind of make me want to pull it up now. But when I saw his tweet the other day, I'm like,
I thought he was going to make it.
Shaq didn't make it.
Hey man. It happens like that. You get a little bit surprised. We let go of Desmond King, who was a pretty consistent corner for us, and then
you look at this list. I mean, Keith Kurtwood, Chris Olave, A.T. Perry, Rashid Shaheed, Traquan Smith, and Michael Thomas.
Mhm.
That's our receivers.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, it's a great list right there. Now, let me ask you this though: how efficient do you think Derek Carr is going to be for you guys this season?
Well, with how good he looked in that Chiefs game, I'm confident that we got a good offense,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got targets he can throw at, and we got running backs. I mean, I feel like Jamal Williams will be RB1, but I feel like he could rotate with Kendry Miller, the former TCU Horned Frog. So I see maybe him getting a little bit of reps and carries too, but I feel like Jamal Williams will mostly be the one being the main ball carrier while Derek's doing play calling in the field. But I will say, I mean, I'll give it to Jameis Winston too. Jameis had an outstanding preseason, but Jake Hayner, he improved me in those first 2 games, but it's like this one, it wasn't his best game. Out of the 3, this might have been his worst. Had 2 interceptions. And then there were times where we thought we had it, but y'all DBs were wide open and just caught it right there. So it's just one of them tune-up games. But I'm still excited for week 1, and I'm confident that we're going to be an outstanding team. I don't know if they're still favored to win the NFC South because you look at our division, Tampa Bay is done. Tom Brady's gone, and that's Baker Mayfield's team now. Carolina, you got Bryce Young in his rookie season. And then, the Falcons, you got Desmond Ridder taking over after Mariota went to the Eagles to back up Jalen Hurts. So we got a veteran quarterback. Out of all, we have a veteran. And if it makes you feel better, I feel like y'all going to be rooting hard for us week 1 because we're playing against a team y'all hate with a passion. We're playing the Titans week 1.
Destroy them.
Destroy them, please. Get the job done.
The fact that y'all still, when I think of Oilers, I think of Houston. Like, why don't they just give y'all that back? Why don't they give y'all the Derek logo back? And
that's the argument that was going on when it was announced that the Titans were going to use the Oilers, and definitely they're going to use it against the Texans in one of those.
They are.
They're doing it for
just a must. Yeah.
Week 15. Week 15.
There you go. So.
They're using it in another game too, but I forgot. Was it the Rams they're using it? They're using it for 2 games.
Probably, yeah. And they're gonna. I mean, we just knew it was gonna happen.
It's the Falcons and us. They're using.
So it is the Falcons.
Yeah.
Okay.
But regardless, you knew that it was gonna happen as soon as they announced. They're like, oh, they're gonna do it for against the Texans game in one of those.
I hope CJ touchdowns. You know what? Touchdown record. 8 touchdowns.
right now, I honestly, I've said this several times before. Right now, I see the Titans and the Texans and the Titans fight it out for second place. That's how I see it. Yeah,
Titans are fighting for third or fourth place.
Oh, I don't know about. I don't know.
I think Jaguars would go first. Then it's going to be us or the Titans, and then definitely the Colts are going to be dead last.
It's going to be between the Colts and the Titans for last place. That defense is absolute rock bottom against the pass, and the run is to be determined.
Yeah, so I mean, it all depends because
it all depends. Just Tannehill's not going to win your shootouts. There's only so much Derrick Henry can do. Like
I just picture now, out of anybody, I think if Tannehill gets hurt or gets injured, that's it. Then I can see that happening.
And it's Mayo Man.
Yeah, and then it's Mayo Man or was Malik Willis?
Yeah, that boy from Liberty.
Yeah, apparently they were praising him because he was doing better. I mean, but. Even a clock is right twice a day,
I mean, I saw this man play a game last year. We threw 0 passes in the second half. 0 passes. What NFL quarterback throws 0 passes?
Plus, they got one of y'all former boys, DeAndre Hopkins, is now with the Titans too. So, you look at
that one did hurt a little bit.
You look at some of their key players. They still got Derrick Henry. They got Hopkins now. They got Chris Moore, Kyle Phillips. They got. Josh Wiles, their starting tight end, or it might be Trevon Wesco. They got some talented players too.
Yeah. Well, they have talent, no doubt, and they have good coaching. But the problem is their defense. They can't stop the pass, and it's a passing league.
We know Tannehill's QB1. Who's going to be QB2? Willis, or is it going to be Will Levis from Kentucky?
Willis.
I don't think they've announced it yet, but
they haven't.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Malik because he has a year over Levis and
Or Levis.
only
Unless
reason.
unless Levis, which I doubt, would randomly just start like throwing bombs. I don't see. I see Will Levis as a third string for
Yeah.
Tennessee. Yeah,
I mean, it's his rookie season, so
right.
that. And
So-
I think y'all. We got a 56% chance, a favorite of beating Tennessee week 1, and I think y'all got the Ravens week 1.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a true test. Last season they were like one of the top 3 defenses out in the league, man. That's going to be a pretty good test for
That's
CJ
gonna
Stroud.
be baptism by fire.
Right.
Well, the
Uh,
problem. I have a guy I worked with. He's a Ravens fan. He said our problem in the past was there were no receivers for Lamar Jackson to throw through. Now they got Odell, they got Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, Zay Flowers, Tylan Wallace, Devin Duvernay. So they got some targets to throw to now.
From that list, I could see Zay Flowers, doing, some damage there. But Odell Beckham is just, he might get you like how do you call it, like 3-4 yards here and there. I don't see Odell Beckham being the Odell Beckham that we were used to seeing. You know what I mean? All reliable. It's just
Since he's been in LA, he hasn't.
It's a name.
He kind of turned into
Yeah.
LeBron. He's been a
Right.
crybaby.
It's a name. I don't. That's why when people say like Odell, and I'm not talking about you. Like when I hear people like talking about like Odell, I'm like,
They
You
think
know,
about
it's-
New York Giants, Odell, but he's not that guy anymore.
yeah, he's not that
I
good
think
anymore.
age and those injuries have caught up to him.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
fighting with field goal nets too, and on the
Right.
sideline.
Mhm.
But
And
you
then
look at the line; they have the Ravens a -10 favorite in this game. Anything could change. It's in Baltimore.
Right. Mhm. And so go ahead, Riz.
It's going to be a close game, honestly. It's not. People think it's going to be a blowout. I think you got two top defenses going against each other. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to be probably one of those that's going to come down to a last-second field goal.
I can see this game potentially going into overtime.
Yeah, I can see probably Baltimore wins at last second. Last second Justin Tucker field goal, but it's going to be close. It's going to be closer than people think. Just because it's going to be low scoring, defenses, shutting down the pass, running game, and just whoever makes less mistakes.
Yeah, I still overall, yeah, I do think that it's going to be a defensive battle. So yeah, I agree with you guys 100% on the low scoring. How do you call it? Game. Our defense this year, I feel like it's very underrated. I think we have a pretty good defense. Basing on what I saw during preseason, during the snaps where the starters were, I feel like our backfield is going to be probably the best part of our defense, like the DBs and the corners. It's almost like it's a no-fly zone. I think our biggest weakness is probably fixing that run game, the run defense. I think it's still a little bit weak, but not as weak as last season when we were like at the worst. But I think still the run defense might be where it gives us a little bit of problems. That's what I'm thinking. Our front seven are actually pretty decent. They're chasing after those quarterbacks, so I'm really happy about that. And we got rid of Roy Lopez, so there you go. That helps.
I think the good thing is Baltimore switching to from what they've said, they're switching to more being pass heavy versus running, which is going to work in our favor. That's why I think it's going to be low scoring because as far as the running backs, J.K. Dobbins, he's decent, but I don't think he's one of those guys you
not top tier, right?
You don't
not
lose
top
sleep
tier.
Oh
no, J.K. Dobbins.
I know they're not y'all's main helmet. I love those red helmets, those metallic red helmets y'all debuted.
Right.
It definitely goes good with the red out look. Like even if they just wear the red jersey, white pants, which I don't know if they ever did the red pants with the red jerseys.
They did. They ended up looking like ketchup bottles though.
Yeah.
With the red helmets, or
oh no, not with the red helmets. They did the blue helmet, red jersey, and red pants. And then they did this weird combo once where it was obviously blue helmet, red jersey, and then blue pants. And a lot of people didn't like that.
I've never seen that before. I'm used to them wearing the white. I'm used to them wearing white pants with those red jerseys, and I like how they even in the end zone they outline the word Texans in red if they wear the red. Like I basically look at the end zones. I was like, whatever color the outline is, that's what color home jerseys they're wearing, navy or red.
Yeah. No, I mean most commonly I've seen them with the red jerseys and the white pants. I think that's a pretty decent look. I'll be honest with you, like the traditional deep steel blue that like what I have back here. I got tired of it. Like we've been tired of it for like a few years. I mean,
we're ready for a change.
We're ready for a change.
Well,
It's a
remember
very
they had a rumor they wanted to give y'all white helmets, but I heard that was a big no-no. That's why y'all went with metallic red.
Yeah.
It wasn't very popular either here. I think they put it up to a vote, and not a lot of people like that. People like the red. Battle red is the theme itself. I mean, number one, it sounds cool. Number two, it just sounds like you're balling out. Battle red. It would be a great theme.
It's one of people's favorite colors too. Like that's one of their favorite jerseys, the Battle Red jerseys.
Yeah, it used to. I related to. I used to relate it to the old Texans defense, the 2011, 2012 defense for the Texans. They were top tier. That Battle Red, when they played those games in Battle Red, it was intense. It was a different aura that you would feel during those games. So I always associate it to that.
One of those was against Baltimore. We blew them out. It was like 43 to 6 or 7. Like it was
Joe Flacco at quarterback. I remember that. Isn't that the year that he was really good too, or something, or were the Ravens?
Yeah, that was the year they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's it.
I love y'all's color rush uniforms, but they look almost similar to the Patriots color rush uniforms.
I think because it has red numbers, right?
Yeah. I think ours is a darker blue than theirs, but it does look pretty similar. But it's probably one of our better. It's probably one of our better uniforms.
I mean, I like y'all's colors. I mean, it kind of resembles other teams. I know when you look at Navy and Houston, you think of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Astros they think orange more than Navy, but I love Navy. Navy goes good with anything, especially I love wearing Navy and orange together when I'm watching the Astros. But y'all have red for the Rockets, or y'all have red for the Houston Cougars. So, I mean, y'all kind of keeping similar colors around. But, I like the Navy red combo. I love the Navy orange combo, too. I used to have a bit of Texans gear. I used to kind of give love. I'm a big Astros and Dynamo guy and UH go Cougs, but I got to give some kind of love to the Texans. I mean, yeah, they're in the AFC, but, since Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase went to the Bengals, I've kind of been rooting them more as an AFC team than anybody else. But it's like, when the Texans are if we're not playing them and they're on prime time or something, I'm going to watch them. Yeah, I'm going to root for them. I rep Houston 713, baby, all the way.
There you go.
No, I'm born and raised in Louisiana. I'd rather Houston than New Orleans. And I did live in Houston for a couple of years. I lived in Rosenberg. Rosenberg, Texas for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Close to Rios.
Yeah, I live in Richmond right now.
Well, AEW is coming back to Houston in October, but they're going to
Rosenberg. Yeah, that new arena. It was like a new arena that they have over there. It's supposed to be really nice.
Yeah, it just opened 2 weeks ago, and then that's when their tickets went off. See, when
there's an arena? I don't even know about that.
Out of all places in Rosenberg, Texas.
We'll figure.
Well, they started when AEW would go to Houston. They went to UH. They went to the Fertitta Center the last 2 times. And I kept thinking, well, they've been upgrading, so if they go back, they're going to go to the Toyota Center, obviously. No, they're going to a different arena. They don't go to that same shit WWE goes to.
You saw how they packed up Wembley Stadium though?
Yeah, but I kind of a little I bet if WWE went there, they'd have drew 100,000.
Yeah, I would see that.
But I mean, hey, I'm happy for them. They did get a big crowd. That was their largest crowd ever. We'll eventually talk that probably next week because after what happened with Bray Wyatt, we're doing a tribute show for him Thursday instead of our usual prediction show with 2 pay-per-views coming up that I won't be watching live because I'll be watching college football all weekend long. So,
nice. As you should.
Right?
So Saturday, it's Saturday, I'm going to be watching multiple games nonstop. I got a list of games coming down. UH is one of them. I know they're playing UTSA in the evening. I got that to watch. I have to watch Tulane. I don't like Tulane because they used to be old rivals with us. But of how kind of season they had last year, I want to see if they can do it again. So I'm going to watch Tulane in South Alabama. I got to watch North Carolina, South Carolina. There's another Penn State, West Virginia. I got to check that out too. Good thing all that's happening because LSU and Florida State is so big, they're moving it to a Sunday night. And I hope we get our redemption from last year because I'm doing that show tomorrow, by the way. I was supposed to have a Florida State fan on, but I couldn't get a hold of one, so I got an LSU Tiger coming on.
It's okay. I'm sure it's hard to get one.
Well, I would like to. I'd like to do like this. Like, I want to do each week where I can get a fan from the opposing team to show that, hey, not all LSU or Saints fans are assholes. We're gonna. I'll keep it fair. I might pick at and joke, which I don't have nothing to pick on about the Texans, because I always liked them too. Just especially when y'all had J.J. Watt, that was my all-time favorite Texan.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
I once made a joke.
Oh, go ahead. Good.
I made a joke one time. Someone said, "Who's your favorite Texan?" I said, "Matt Schaub." They're like, "Shut the fuck up." I'm like,
wow.
I'm just kidding, J.J. Watt.
Wow. You should start just what is it? You didn't even go for the top shelf. You reached for like the mid cabinet.
Right? Not even the lower cabinet.
Yeah.
I should have. I was gonna say Fitzpatrick, but I'm like, no, that's too hard.
Nah, I like Fitzy though. Fitzy, I like Fitzy. You can't. It's like so hard to hate that guy. Fitzy,
right?
Yeah.
First of all, gets a majestic beard. First of all,
yes.
Oh, I love the beard. I love.
And he went to Harvard. He went to Harvard. How can you have a good dude went to Harvard that plays football? Like
he hangs out with the fans. He hangs out with the fans. I think that's like the coolest thing ever. He's like, yeah, man, just partying out with the fans.
My favorite with him is when he was in Buffalo, shirtless. It's like, negative 10 degrees outside. Bro, what are you doing? Sir, you went to Harvard.
Yeah,
sir, you went to Harvard. Act like it.
Yeah, the Ivy League schools know how to deal with that snow.
Yeah.
So
no, Fitzy was good, man. I actually did enjoy Fitzy. I wish it would have worked out, but we all the Fitzpatrick. Where is it?
It's either Fitzmagic or Fitztragic.
Yeah, Fitzmagic or Fitztragic. There you go. The little algorithm. So eventually it turned into Tragic. So
my favorite memory of him when we played Tennessee, and he was fired up. They threw 6 touchdown passes.
He completely murdered Tennessee on when we played against him with Fitzpatrick.
Here's the only thing I have left Texans wise before we move on and talk some other stuff. But how do y'all? I'm looking at y'all. How do y'all think y'all season? Give me like a season prediction overall plus a division prediction.
So Rios and I guess we differ in opinion on this one. And don't get me wrong. I hope that Rios is right. I do for the fandom, right? My take is I feel like we're gonna go 7-10 this season. Okay. I do feel like there are some learning curves around CJ. And don't get me wrong, I want this kid to thrive. I want to be wrong. I do. I want us to have a way better record than 7-10. I want that. But for me right now, looking at it in this aspect, if I'm trying to be as realistic as I can for my own sake, I'm gonna say 7-10. There are going to be some games that the Texans are going to lose that we're like, oh, come on, this was so close. You know what I mean?
Every team
that's going to attribute to that record, in my opinion. And there's going to be games where, like, oh wow, we beat them. Like, wow, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be, oh wow, cool, we got it taken care of. That's right, eat it. But that's how I see it. But I honestly believe it's 7-10. Just CJ going into a rookie season. Don't get me wrong, I want him to ball out. But I think there are going to be some mistakes that are going to happen, and not just necessarily on him. I mean, we have some O-line issues now, even more. Some O-line issues. We're relying on a rookie center, Juice Scruggs, which hasn't been doing bad, but now we just lost what we were thinking is supposed to be a key player on Kenyon Green. He's out for the season. We expected we expected a better year from him because last season
it couldn't get any worse.
It couldn't get any worse. Oh, it did. It did. He's out for the season, so. I don't know. It's starting to seem like it wasn't such a good pick, but whatever. But then the whole point of that is there's one less guy protecting CJ Stroud, right? And so that was at least familiar with the offensive scheme. So now you have to bring somebody in and learn what to do in that position. So nonetheless, I'm gonna say 7-10. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. Chris?
So I'm the opposite. So I'm thinking, you know what? We had a lot of one-score games where we could have won. We had, a semi-competent quarterback. We did not. This year we do. He's going to have his learning pains for sure, especially in the beginning of the season. I think the defense is going to carry this team big time this first 6-7 weeks. But I think after the bye, I think that's when CJ really finds his stride, and that's where we start scoring more points. I think the defense carries us to at least 4 or 5 wins, and then from there, the offense is going to carry us for the next 6 wins. I'm going 10-7. We win the division. Probably lose the wild card, but hey, considering how I've been right the last 3 years as far as record goes, so I'm feeling confident about my prediction so far.
Yeah. Well, division-wise, I could see y'all sweeping the Colts. I mean, but that's probably one of them teams y'all always kind of share it with.
Yes.
The Titans, just for y'all's sake, I always root for you guys. I would love for that sweep to happen too. It's a potential it could happen, especially with how this team has been. Jacksonville, I mean, either hopefully y'all can get a win and tie the series up, or it could be a sweep with Jacksonville, because I know there probably are the odds-on favorite to win it again. I haven't looked at the prediction for the AFC South, but I'm pretty sure that Jacksonville is probably the favorite to win the division. But hopefully y'all at least get one win over them, because, of the talent they got. We meet y'all week 6 in Houston, a noon kickoff. I would not be surprised if we drop this game. We don't really have the best record against you guys lately. I think the last 2 times we played y'all in regular season, y'all beat. I know the last time we played Houston, y'all beat us. There was one year, I think it was a week 1 game, we hosted y'all at home. We barely.
That was Monday night.
It was a Monday night game. We barely won that game.
That was such a game.
We played like shit. It was good, but we played horrible, and
That's when Hopkins suplexed that dude.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Hopkins, and I think Kenny Stills came in clutch towards the last 2 minutes or minute.
That was 2019, right?
Yeah, we had Deshaun Watson. We had
2019 because 2018 we lost to the Vikings on Monday night, and then the following year we had a Monday night week 1 against the Texans in New Orleans, and we won with a winning field goal, and we got rid of that kicker now. So, but I mean, even the teams in our division, I could see y'all beating the Panthers. I could see y'all beating Tampa Bay. The Falcons is kind of a head scratcher because everyone talking about the Falcons could be a good team this year, but we'll see.
I don't know. I don't see it. I'm not a big believer in Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder.
And they got that running back from Texas.
Bijan Robinson.
I heard he's good.
I mean, that's probably like because are they the ones that have Drake London, right?
Yes.
So they got Drake London. Yeah. They got some players on offense.
Some weapons.
They got that tight end from Florida.
I just don't believe in Desmond Ridder, man. I don't see it. I really don't.
You don't see an it factor on him?
I don't.
He doesn't have that dog on him?
Not a DAWG, maybe a DOG, lowercase letters.
Not DOGG like Snoop either.
No. He's got a PUP, a pup.
Let's see. I mean,
he's Scrappy Doo.
Looking at y'all's schedule here, Bengals probably could be a loss. Cardinals could be a win.
They're tanking. So that's definitely
they're taking the season. Yeah.
The Broncos, I don't know. Sean Payton has kind of shocked me in the last preseason game, so that's kind of another head scratcher. Everyone is riding on the Jets now that they got Dalvin Cook, Aaron Rodgers, all these guys.
I mean, so it could look good on paper. It could look good on paper with Aaron Rodgers and Dalvin Cook and these guys, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm thinking the Jets are just gonna jet, man. I don't really believe in them.
As someone who's had Dalvin Cook many years in fantasy football, count on him getting hurt. It happens every damn year, man.
And I gotta say, going back to the Broncos, how you said, with Sean Payton, I know you're saying he surprised you. I don't know. Lately, he's been making these little comments here and there, whatever. With I'm just thinking, dude, I feel like you're focusing too much on the publicity aspect as opposed to actually to your team. So I don't know. Yeah, so I feel like that right there is going to end up hurting his team more. And then at the end of the day, you might end up losing the locker room too because of just things that you're saying. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah, I'm very iffy about the Broncos
because and Javonte Williams not fully healthy yet. Like he's still a question mark for week 1, and even that he's coming off an ACL tear. And it takes a little bit of time to come back from. And Russell, I don't know what that man's cooking, but it ain't nothing good.
Yeah. Who let him cook?
And then y'all got the Cleveland Browns too as another matchup.
I'm praying on their downfall. 0-17. 0-17.
I don't know. 17. I'd have to pull their schedule up. I don't know if they could go 0-17.
No. They're favored to be one of the better teams in the AFC. But I don't know the actual number, but I know they're favored.
Looking at Deshaun in preseason, I don't know.
I mean, of course, I just hope he stays that way so that we can, because we don't have a first-round pick next season.
We're
a first-round.
I'm gonna give them at least. I'm at
Yeah.
least give the Browns. I'm at least give the Browns 3 wins for here. I see them beating the Colts. I see them beating the Cardinals, and I see them beating the Rams. Everyone else in their schedule is losses.
Hey, if they go 3-14,
I hope so. Like I said, we
Marvin
don't have
Harrison
a.
Jr.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't have a number one draft pick on our own.
I wouldn't mind them
but we have
getting.
theirs.
I wouldn't mind them getting 1 win over the Steelers, but they're not gonna beat the Bengals. They might have some tight games with them, and then the Ravens. They'll get swept by the Ravens.
I hope they lose every single game in their schedule, just because I want that pick.
Well, there's only 2 teams that went winless overall. The Detroit Lions. Cleveland was the other one.
Yeah, there you go.
Browns could be the first team to do it twice.
I will love that, just because
I'm
we get
shocked the Saints. I'm shocked of the bad times in the 90s and the early 2000s. The Saints never went winless during those darker days with the paper bags, and we were the Aints.
Right.
Look,
Yeah,
and for y'all's sake, I'm shocked y'all never went winless either. I'm like, at least y'all had a couple wins on y'all belt, but
we came close twice.
We came close, but we ended up blowing it at the end.
yeah,
Thanks
and that
a lot.
cost y'all.
Love
That
you,
cost
David.
y'all the number 1 pick of the draft.
Hey, but you know what? Honestly,
Blessing in disguise.
maybe a blessing in disguise, because I'm like, you know what? It might have been for the right reasons.
Rode on y'all getting Bryce Young, but I'm like,
We all
well, he's
did.
going to the Panthers.
all did.
I said CJ, they're gonna get CJ Stroud, and that's what y'all did. And I called
But it was funny. Yeah, it was funny because we were like,
to
oh,
be.
Chicago. When Chicago was in it, I was like, they're gonna rely on Justin Fields. I was like, if they trade with another team, it's definitely they believe in Bryce and they want to invest in Bryce. Sure enough, it was the Panthers. So once it was announced that it was the Panthers, we're like, oh, we're getting CJ. Like there wasn't a.
It's crazy how it worked out because we also got Will Anderson,
It's true.
which is honestly probably the best player in the draft.
Oh, he's killing it right now. He preseason he made what's his name from the Dolphins. I think he ended up leaving in a cart too. He made him look like a rag doll. The running back who was blocking for him. Remember?
Oh, Devin
Shane, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I don't think I've ever witnessed that ever watching the NFL draft. One team getting back-to-back picks in the first round, and y'all did it with CJ Stroud and Will Anderson.
I guess it was, yeah, in the top 3. So I'll tell you a little story in a second. But honestly, it was, as a Texans fan, it was surprising, and I felt the excitement because we're not known for doing things like that, right? Now, It's funny because you hear like outsiders' perspective, different people from different teams saying, "Oh, the Texans gave up way too much for Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud." Look, we don't ever do that. We rarely ever do that. So for us, it was like, "Oh well, you're making an investment on these guys. Isn't that what we all do anyway? Isn't that what all teams do?"
Hey, life's a gamble. We roll the dice.
Yeah. So like every team has taken a chance on somebody. Yes, they're going to be busts. Yes, they are going to be superstars. You don't know, so that's why you take the gamble. So when we were drafting, Rios, tell them the story about how you called it.
Yeah, so I pretty much said, we're doing a live show, and I said, we could probably go CJ number 2, and then I see us trading up number 3, getting Will Anderson. We were like, you're crazy. 5 minutes later, the little ticker comes across. The trade is in, like, oh, who was right? I was like a kid on Christmas. I was just running around the room and screaming, tequila!
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I did mention earlier, I said I did go to one Texans game my whole life. I watched them against the Colts. I think, we did talk about that. Yeah, I would love to go watch the Saints in Houston. Like, I've never been to a Saints road game. I always say I will go if it's like either in Houston or I'll even go to Dallas because I've watched them play the Cowboys once in the Dome and we beat the living shit out of them, and that's always fun to watch too.
Always.
But I gotta say though, I want to jump. I feel like it'll be a while if we ever talk about these teams again. But I figured, why don't I talk about them now? Unless if we go back in October, but the Astros are about to win this. They keep this up. They're going into the bottom of the ninth. They're up 6-2 over the Red Sox. They hit 2 homers in the first inning. Alex Bregman and then Yordan Alvarez homered
back to back.
Remember that one back to back. And then Bregman singling one to left, having Mauricio score, and then putting Alve to second, and then Dubois doubled the center, getting Diaz to score, and then Jose Abreu after that. So we're up 6-2 now, going into the bottom of the ninth. And they had a 13-5 win yesterday, which I didn't watch. I'm watching this one right now. Watched it since the start. But Let's talk. I want to kind of talk about how you think they've been doing in the second half. You know, I feel like they kind of been a little bit of back and it's been a race with the Rangers fighting for that division right now.
Go for a race because
they've been very inconsistent. Like you'll have games like the other day where they won 17 to whatever, and then they'll have days where they lose 1-0. They've been very back and forth. I think now they're starting to show a little more consistency on offense. Hopefully, we keep this momentum going. Especially now you got Uncle Mike back. Like you got a solid lineup 1 through 8. 9, Maldonado, he's a guaranteed out, but again, it's not his job to get on base. It's those first 8 guys' job to get on base. So if those guys can get on base, not leave runners stranded, we should be in good shape. And hopefully Seattle starts to fade as they usually do, and hopefully the Rangers continue to fade.
The Rangers' downfall, we kind of predicted it was going to happen, and it's happening already. The Astros are.
That was me.
No, I mean all of us do. That's the thing. It wasn't scary. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, the Rangers are hot. The Rangers are gonna go down eventually." So and they're doing that right now. So I mean, it was expected, right? Astros, they have games where it's surprising, and it's almost like a lack of trying. Like you were the champions last season. It's almost like you're not really giving it your all. But you know what this team is capable of. This team is good on paper, and this team has actually shown and proven that it's actually good. The difference is, man, it's just like, I guess there are games that it's so crazy how you can go one game and just blowing out a team 17 or whatever, or 13 or something, and then go back the following day and like score almost nothing. It's inconsistency that kind of gets me, This is a great team. It's a great Astros team. On paper, it looks better than last season's, and last season's they were world champs. But they did some upgrades too, and honestly, it's just not clicking. A lot of the inconsistency in pitching right now, especially from Christian Javier, who has just, has had a rocky season. A lot of it's his fastball's not on point as it used to be last season. And obviously, I feel like he's gonna. I heard it on ESPN, like the pitch clock it feels like he's gotten to him, because if you go back and look at last season, Framber. Because, the thing is, Christian Javier used to really just kind of take his time on the mound and then throw. But if you look back at his old games from last season, he would have had a bunch of violations already on him, And so he's been affected by the pitch clock, and so has Framber. And again, I'm getting this from ESPN Houston here when they were talking about that. I'm not, but it's true when you think about it. It happens.
I do have a hot take about Christian. So I think he's probably going to be best suited being a long reliever instead of a starter. Probably not a popular opinion, but I think he'll be best suited being a long reliever like he was last year.
At some point, you kind of have to. I mean, look, they did that to Urquidy. Like Urquidy was a starter, and right now he's being
because he's struggling. He's throwing 100 pitches, in 4 or 5 innings. That's just, you can't keep at that kind of pace. No. I think
exactly.
His best bet's gonna be a long reliever. Have someone else start, have him, do like 5 to 6 or 7 innings, and then close it out for somebody else. Because he's just, I don't know, man. It's just like you said, the pitch clock is definitely affecting him and Framber. Because
I haven't been keeping up with the standing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
No, go ahead.
No,
go ahead. Goddamn. Yeah, you go, Rios. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Well, it's affected a lot of our pitchers, like Luis Garcia también. Like with he had this whole little dance, and he couldn't do it anymore because the pitch clock. But he finally got the hang of it. But then Tommy John,
yeah, that's sad. So that's the thing about it. And then Lance McCullers is also hurt. Like we have potential. It's just a lot of it is injuries. Like I mean, the Astros started off with a bunch of injuries this season. Where they are now, even to overcome what they've overcome this season with the amount of injuries they had, with the amount of everything really.
Altuve missed like the first month of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Jordan also missed a few games. We're down starting pitchers as well. Then Lance McCullers, who was supposed to be, this was the year, one of the years that he could prove himself. I mean, honestly,
and now we got Justin back.
That one was good. I was okay with that one. I know some people thought it was a lot, but honestly, I feel like it was worth it.
He's shown his worth so far.
At least I was one of probably only a short amount of people that did not talk shit when he went to the Mets.
No, I don't think
I was just kind of shocked he got injured before opening day. I said, well, the Mets season's already over. It's always over before the first pitch of the season. So, but real quick, okay, it is fucking pouring ass raining in Boston right now. Like, it is storming on that field. You could see the rain hitting Abreu on the mound there.
Oh man.
But we're up. It's still 6-2. It's bottom of the ninth. They got a man on base, 1 out. That's the count. The count is 0-2 actually. They just he just struck him out. So he struck McGuire out. Not Mark McGuire. What's his name? Reese McGuire or something like that. I just saw
Right, yeah.
on TV. But I haven't been keeping up with the standings. It's crazy. I mean, they're going to say out of the 5 teams we're ranked 3rd, but I think it's a 3-way tie because both the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Astros have 75 wins, but we got 58 losses. Rangers got 57. Mariners got 56. You can add 76 and 58 as the record after this last bat was strike one.
It's basically a game and a half between all 3 teams.
Right.
But I mean, the way maybe they could improve when they get into the postseason, but it's like the way they kind of been playing. I could see them at least making it to the divisional series if they get knocked out in the ALDS, or if they could make it to the ALCS again. But I mean, the way they've been playing, I would love for them to go back, but it's just like I don't know. They need to start getting those bats hot and playing solid defense if you want to make it back to the World Series for a 3rd straight year.
Well, that's funny. So I've compared the Astros this season to the Rockets in '95 when they were the defending champions, and then they just struggled all year. And then they came into the playoffs as a 6 seed. And they just knocked off all the top teams and went back to back. And this Astros team has a very similar feel. It was a little bit championship hangover, a little bit of injuries here and there, but they struggled. And they barely made it to the playoffs. And they once you're in the show, it's a whole new season. And hey, like Rudy T said, never underestimate the heart of a champion.
Yeah. I got a question for y'all. Which y'all think is the funniest thing right now? The fact that we're still we're about to be out of August, but the fact we're in August and the Oakland A's are the only team to be eliminated from playoff contention already. Where'd Carlos go? He left?
Forgot to pay his bill.
Well, if he comes back, I'm asking you, what do you think is the funniest thing right now? Here he comes. What happened there?
I think I clicked on the wrong button.
He thought you hadn't paid your bill.
No. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
All right. I was asking him, what do you think is the funniest thing right now? The fact that we're in August and the Oakland A's are the only team to be eliminated from playoff contention right now? Or the fact that of all the shit talking they did since last year, the Yankees are not even going to make the postseason because they're in last place in their division also, and it won't be long before they get that E by the side of their name on the ESPN app.
You love to see it. They spent so much money just to not even make it to the playoffs.
Look what they did. They released Josh Donaldson. Their big offseason signing released.
Yeah.
And when was the last time that the Yankees and the Red Sox did not make the postseason together? It's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
It's been a very long time.
That's what it's looking like right here.
I think Rios was 103 years old when that happened.
Because looking at the
good old days, the Industrial Revolution.
Looking at the AL East, Baltimore and the Rays, it's going to come out of them two. One will clinch the division, and the other one could be the wild card.
Baltimore.
I think Baltimore wins the division, but it's a young team. I don't see them making any noise in the postseason. I think they're one and done in the postseason.
Who do you have? I mean, if we don't win it, who do you have? If you could pick at least 2 different teams, who do you have winning the World Series? If it's not us,
I got NL Atlanta.
Yeah, I'd say the Braves. I'd rather the Braves over the Dodgers. That's the only.
I hate this.
Yeah. That's the only World Series loss I took was the Braves. I'm not a Braves. I hate Atlanta, but I'll take that World Series loss over the 2019 one over the Nats that we should have won, and the 05 one when we got swept by the freaking White Sox.
White
But
Sox.
the AL, I mean, it could be the Rays, it could be Baltimore, as long as it ain't the fucking Rangers.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think
That'll
it's the
never
Rangers.
happen.
Yeah,
Not in this lifetime.
They're basically
so
they
the
could be
only
the
team.
Buffaloes of MLB if they went 4 in
Yeah.
a row and they lose all 4.
Yeah. So the only other team, and it's gonna sound weird. Right now, I know that the Mariners are getting a little hot right now, but their pitching is actually
Don't
not
you
bad.
say it. Do
No, I'm
not
just
say
letting you
it.
know. Their
Aren't they
pitching
the
is actually
only
not bad.
Aren't they the
Pitching
only
can take you so
team
far.
to not go to the World Series at all? Like, I think every team went
that was
except them.
You might be right. That I'm not too sure of. But I know
think
I know when
Seattle's
the
never
Rangers
been.
went. Yeah, Seattle's never been, right? I mean, the Rangers have been, but
They've been
lost.
2 years in a row and they lost. They lost
Yeah,
to
they
lost.
the Cardinals
Yeah.
and then they lost to the Giants.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
Seattle's the only team to never ever go. So they're the only
Yeah.
they're the only team in that room to say I've never been to a World Series.
Must be like, oh, so cute.
Oh,
But they're in another room with the Rangers, with the Rockies, and a couple. I think I don't know, not the Diamondbacks. There's like 5 or 6 teams that been to the World Series but never won it. The Rangers is one of them. Rockies is another one too. I don't remember who the other teams were. I thought Cleveland was a team, but I think Cleveland did have a World Series win.
no, they've been to one. They haven't won one though.
Yeah, they went. They went the year
They
the
won-
Cubs won.
I want to say they went in '94. They went in the mid '90s to the World Series, but they didn't win.
Now I know Cincinnati got a World. I think Cincinnati has like a World Series. I think they have like one.
Yeah.
I think.
The Reds,
One or
yeah,
two.
the Reds have
So-
won a couple World Series.
So just to fact check, yes, you're correct. The Seattle Mariners are the only current MLB franchise that has never appeared in a World Series. So the San Diego Padres, the Colorado Rockies, the Texas Rangers, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Milwaukee Brewers have played in a series, but haven't won it.
So about 5 or 6 teams. Okay,
So
well-
did Cleveland win one then?
they must have.
Yeah,
If they did, it was probably 100 years ago, like the Cubs did before they won it.
Yeah,
again.
it was probably like the early
2016.
1900s.
Well, I'm going to do something on the show I've never done before. I'm going to talk a team that I've never talked about on this show because they're not in the name. I tried to keep it more Saints, Astros, and LSU sports.
So
but
sorry. So the Guardians have had 2 World Series wins, 1920 and 1948.
well,
When
not the
Rios
Guardians. They
was-
were the Cleveland Indians, or were they have a
Right.
different name?
Yeah.
I mean,
What wasn't they called the Cleveland Browns in baseball at one time? Because I remember when Branch Rickey was playing for Cleveland, they were called the Browns, and I was like,
Rios,
Austin,
what were they called, Rios, when you were playing with them?
God, are you really that old? You just look
He's
young.
98.
I'm a vampire.
He's got the curious case of Benjamin Button, but in this case we call it the curious case of Rios,
Hey, well, since
which
they're
sounds
trying to,
dirty. Which sounds dirty, actually, if you think about it. The curious case of Rios. Hey, he's got a case of the Rios.
Hey.
no, they were the Indians. They were the Indians from 1915 to 2021. Speaking of that, they might change Washington back to the Redskins. Do you think they're going to change Cleveland back to the Indians?
Are they really doing that? Are they really going to change?
Well, I know
Washington?
Washington got a new owner, and there was like a petition, even from Native Americans, that say put the name back as the Redskins.
I
So
see. I
it
heard
might
about that, but I
happen.
wasn't sure. I heard about that, but I wasn't sure how true or how accurate that was.
It's up in the air, but we'll see with the new ownership. But
All right, one more
Hey guys,
thing.
I
before we
got
close out.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead. All right.
No, I said I'm gonna do something I never done on this show. I usually talk Saints, Astros, and LSU. I don't usually talk any of my other teams, but for the first time on this show, I gotta talk the Houston Dynamo because
Yeah.
they beat Salt Lake back to back. Their first beating, they advanced to the Open Cup Finals against Inter Miami. That's gonna happen September 27th. And then I gotta just say I did watch the last matchup. Daniel Steers hitting that header from the center of freaking box to put them up 2-0. Holy shit! Like that dude's the man.
right?
I really like that. I really like that club, even though I watched them one time in person and we lost to the Sounders. But I look forward to going.
Yeah.
Hell, I remember it was BBVA Compass Stadium, then it was called something else, and now it's Shell Energy Stadium. But I like it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad little venue, and now I've been to every stadium in Houston. So yeah, they won
That's
3-0.
awesome, dude.
You rocking the jersey right now?
Oh yeah, definitely. I have to. Wait, there it is. Quit to my left and right. Yeah, yeah, there it is, man. Yeah, I was one of our friends here, Glenn Davis. I called him for a show, and we were talking about, the surprise of the Dynamo has been this season. Last season we got one of our players as Hector Herrera from I think they got him from how do you call it, Atletico Madrid, over there from La Liga, and out of nowhere, like you saw signing, but it seemed more like it was just to get people, in the stadium, But after a while, like this season, he has become such a great facilitator, actually a captain, to where he's actually engaged with the team, according to Glenn. And
Whoa.
he's been doing pretty good. Of course, he's got another core of players also that have been, pretty decent and consistent too. So that's what's helped. That's been one of the key factors for the Dynamo being where they are right now.
Well, they're playing him in position because last year they put him as an attacking mid. He's not an attacking mid. He's more of a defensive-minded mid. And now that he's playing in position where he can focus on defense and, being a facilitator versus, trying to, create, it pays dividends, as you can see. Like,
Of course.
they keep him from scoring. They're getting more open chances. Like, it's a lot more fun to watch. But
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, they have been fun. I mean, that was the first ever soccer matchup I've ever been to in my life. I got to say the slang's right. I can't say game day. I got to say match day. I learned that from soccer hooligans.
Halves, two halves.
Which I wasn't very big on it, but like I would always love to watch the Premier League. I like to watch them European teams go at it, and then I also love when it's like FIFA and when the countries go at it. That's when it's fun to watch, especially if it's FIFA or CONCACAF.
Yeah, exactly. CONCACAF, yeah.
I have one quick story about watching soccer before we close out.
Yeah, go for it.
Almost 10. So this was back in 2014. So almost 10 years ago, that was the year of the World Cup. I think it was in Rio. Mm-hmm. I was in Mexico that year during the week. Well, which FIFA lasts like a month about. FIFA lasts like about
2 months, maybe month and a half, something like that.
I went to Mexico in the middle of the damn tournament, and the resort I stayed at, they would play They would play all the matchups like in every bar at the resort or every ballroom that had like projector screens and stuff. And and then they go like so big, like if when USA played I think it was either Japan or Argentina, they had a big ass like watch party for that, and then they were selling like flags and USA gear, and I bought us a flag. I bought me a sleeveless shirt, and like if we scored a goal, if our country scored a goal, it was like free shots for the Americans, or if we had some Japanese people in attendance, if Japanese scored a goal, they got free shots. So it was fun. I'll never forget one game. I think it was Brazil versus Mexico. We watched that game. And I'm telling you, when Mexico is playing a matchup in Mexico, and you're in Mexico watching it, it is a fucking party like no other. The following year, I was back in Mexico again, but that was during CONCACAF. That was the year they won CONCACAF over, I think it was Canada. Mm-hmm. When they scored one goal, you thought the Texans won the Super Bowl. They were throwing. All they do is score one goal before half. Yeah. They're throwing confetti. They're singing fight songs. They're giving everybody tequila shots. That wasn't the bad. Worst part is they won the fucking cup, and it was I don't know how I survived. I partied. I wanted to be tonight. I said I'm partying with Mexico. They won the CONCACAF. I'm in their country on vacation. Let's fucking party. I don't know how I survived a damn line of tequila shots like that.
Sounds about right.
And I hate
it's a normal Tuesday for Rios.
It is.
Normal Tuesday for Rios, huh?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I tell you what, this was a blast. I'm definitely gonna have you guys on when we get ready for Week 6 against the Texans. Texans. I'm gonna try and get Dylan on. Dylan's gotta have to come talk with you guys, especially if it involves MLS or whatever too. So I'm gonna get that arranged. Dylan on. We'll have you two guys on. We'll talk that. Next time I come back to Houston, I have to hit you guys up. I always like to go.
Yeah, for sure, man. Always.
I go to Eighth Wonder a lot, so.
Oh yeah, Eighth Wonder rules. I like that. I like that.
I get a Dome Foam every so often.
Yeah.
Or what's that?
I like the Westheimer. Westheimer is one of my favorites.
What's that Texas beer they got? Not Tex-Mex. It's what's it called? They got some like Texas brand beer over there. It's got Tex on it. Which the only Texas brand I usually drink. I mean, I like to drink Crawford Bock when I go to Astros games, of course.
That's a given.
I wouldn't consider it a Texas brand, but I liked it because it's California. But I like to drink Stone Cold's beer, Broken Skull, which that's so hard to find these days.
Yeah, there's a double IPA version of that one.
Yeah, but that brand's out of California. I found his beer is brewed in California.
Oh, I thought it was El Segundo is in San Antonio.
No, I thought that whatever. I'd have to go grab the can I got in my display. I thought that was out of freaking San Bernardino, California.
I thought it was San Antonio, unless I'm looking at it incorrectly. Let me see. I'll look it up, bro. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, but what I'm gonna have
I hope not, because I'll be disappointed if it's from that godforsaken state, California.
I mean, I do drink. I mean, if you want to talk about a classic Texas brand beer, Shiner.
Oh, you're right.
Shiner Bock.
Yeah, you're right. It is from California.
It's from San Bernardino or something like that.
It's literally the name of the brewing company, El Segundo. So El Segundo, California.
So it's right outside of LA. I heard it's like by San Bernardino or some shit.
Come on, Steve. Yeah. Oh, come on, man.
That's when you want to hit the what chant right now. What?
What?
It's
literally right outside. It's literally right outside LAX.
Wow. Well, is it the Carbog Brewery right around the corner from Minute Maid Park?
It is.
It is, yeah.
One of my best friends, he's a diehard Astros fan. He
St. Arnold's
the brewery
right there.
Yeah.
One of my best friends who's a diehard Astros fan, him and his wife, they went to the brewery one time and he brought me back some free shit. So
yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right.
I got all that shit. I got my I even got my what's the last time I bought some Crawford Bock? I bought the championship edition cans where they have that little gold ring around the can.
I still have one.
I have one too. I have one somewhere in that freaking crate. But this was fun. Thank you guys for coming on. Real quick before we close out, where can we find you on social media and Just Fans Podcast?
So we are. If you want to find, there it is. If you want to find us, we're trying to get our numbers up on the Instagram account, which has been working. I'm very happy about that. We are on Instagram, as you can see underneath my name. Our Instagram account is @JustFansPod. Find us there. Also, our Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, is @JustFans22.
It's Twitter.
Yeah, and then also if you go on YouTube and type in @JustFans22, you'll see us there also. Yeah, we haven't been able to put out much content, but we'll see how it goes in the next few days or whatever. But yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah. What about you, Rios?
Same sites.
Oh, y'all share them together or something?
I'm the admin for it. And how do you call it? So, but Rios and I run our TikTok, but Rios runs it more than I do. Okay. And so our TikTok account is @JustFans2022.
Well, see, that's like my wrestling show, Worldly Podcast. Like Dylan runs the Twitter, I run the Instagram account. Like he was doing everything, so I was like, give me the Instagram account. I'll run that one, try and boost that number up and everything. But my personal, I got a personal Instagram. I didn't have it on here, but I'm on there. But I'm on Twitter @MarcusLee337. This show's on Twitter @SATSports89. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to watch these shows anytime on demand. Powered by StreamYard, presented by Driving to the Top Productions, sponsored by W Energy. Go to WIGG, use our promo code SAT Sports to get 10% off. Just, I don't have a packet with me. Just don't take it if you have any dizziness, rapid heartbeats, anything like that. Like anything I would get. And I'm going to do a first time ever here. I'm going to be doing 2 shows this week. This one's done. I'm doing one more show tomorrow night to preview LSU's top 10 matchup with Florida State.
Nice.
I was hoping to bring a Florida State fan on, but that didn't happen. So I found an LSU fan randomly. I'm like, want to come on my show and talk LSU Florida State? He's like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
There you go.
We're going to predict some games too. And see, that's going to be another thing we're going to do the next time y'all come back. We might predict some college games. We're going to predict every NFL game. We're going to nominate a game as a toilet bowl of the week or a game of the week.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
That works.
And we're going to do score predictions. Like that's
all right.
Since when we get to week 6, just give me only our game a score prediction. Yeah. Everybody else we just pick a winner. So this
Yeah,
was
well,
fun. I will see you guys. It's in October. I know that week 6.
Yeah.
Like
That's right.
I don't have the schedule up. I think it's like
It's
October.
like middle of October, I believe.
Yeah.
It's either I think it's either October 8th or October 15th, something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
That's when the game is. But I'll get y'all like the middle of that week heading into it. Like it'll probably be like a Tuesday night show or a Wednesday night show once all the NFL games are wrapped up. So, well, this was fun. Thank you guys again. I'll see y'all in October, and thank you for all the listeners tuning in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow to talk LSU. Thank y'all, and y'all have a good one.
You too. Good seeing you.